Junji Ito. If you've never heard that name, here's all you need to know. He's the Stephen King of manga, but somehow scarier. His stories don't just scare you, they get under your skin, into your dreams, and set up a cozy little nightmare. In 2018, the Junji Ito collection hit screens, promising to bring his most horrifying tales to life. Did it succeed? Well, we're about to find out as we dissect the horrors and the hiccups of this ambitious adaptation. Before we dive into the anime, let's talk about the man behind the madness, Junji Ito. Born in 1963 in Gifu, Japan, Ito grew up reading horror manga legends like Kazuo Umezu and Hideshi Hino. He was also fascinated by his older sister's drawings, which introduced him to the power of visual storytelling. But get this, he didn't jump into manga right away. Nope. He worked as a dental technician for years before finally pursuing his true calling, scaring the crap out of people. Ito's breakout came in 1987 with Tomi, a story about an immortal girl who drives people to madness and murder. Over the years, he has produced a terrifying library of works, including Uzumaki, A Town Cursed by Spirals, Gyo, Killer Fish with Legs, and dozens of short stories that range from unsettling to downright grotesque. His art style? Hyper-detailed and deeply unsettling. His storytelling? A masterclass in building suspense and diving into psychological horror. So, what exactly is the Junji Ito collection? It's a 12-episode anime produced by Studio Dean, released in 2018. The series adapts several of Ito's short stories, including fan favorites like Slugs, The Long Dream, Fashion Model, and Greased. There's also a bonus 2-part OVA adapting Tomi, because apparently one dose of nightmare fuel wasn't enough. The idea was simple: take Ito's iconic manga and bring it to life through animation. But here's the thing, horror is hard to adapt, and Ito's horror? That's like trying to bottle lightning. Did Studio Dean pull it off? Let's break it down. Junji Ito isn't just an artist, he's a horror architect. His work stands out for 3 big reasons. Terrifyingly detailed art. Ito's art doesn't just show horror, it makes you feel it. Every wrinkle, every shadow, every tiny grotesque detail is meticulously crafted to make you squirm. His monsters aren't just scary, they're disturbingly human in a way that sticks with you. Psychological depth. Ito doesn't rely on cheap jump scares. His stories dig into your psyche, exploring fears that feel oddly personal. Losing control of your body, being consumed by obsession, or facing the unknown. It's not just scary, it's extremely unsettling. Mastery of pacing. This guy knows exactly when to drop the hammer. He uses the structure of manga, those static panels, to build suspense and then deliver a single horrifying image that makes you want to throw the book across the room. Here's the problem. Junji Ito's horror is built for the page. His art relies on stillness and silence, letting your imagination fill in the gaps. Animation? That's a whole different beast. Everything moves, and what's left to the imagination in the manga often gets spelled out in the anime, and not always in a good way. Studio Dean, known for titles like Fate, Stay Night, and Rurouni Kenshin, took on the challenge. But animating horror is tricky, especially on a budget. You need perfect timing, atmospheric music, and, most importantly, art that can live up to Ito's original work. Unfortunately, that's where the Junji Ito collection often falls short. Let's give credit where it's due. The voice acting? Top notch. Whether it's a terrified scream or the eerie calm of a villain, the performances nail the unsettling tone of Ito's work. And the music? It's haunting, with a mix of eerie melodies and spine-chilling sound effects that elevate the atmosphere.
これは僕の先祖たちの頭蓋骨の集合体なんだ。父さんの頭のすぐ上は僕のおばさんの頭、その上はおばあちゃんの頭、そしてその上が大おじの頭、その上が大おば、その上がひいおじいちゃんやその兄弟、さらにその上がひいひいおじいちゃん。そうやって先祖代々の脳が遡るように繋がっているんだ。僕と結婚すると言ってくれたよね。
でも
何も恐れることはないんだ。君はただ僕の血を受け継いだ子供を産んでくれればそれでいいんだよ。そんなことは僕には許されないんだ。
いや、結婚なんてできない。
待て
Some episodes do justice to the source material. The Long Dream captures the horror of time and memory. The Slug Girl brings its grotesque imagery to life in a way that's both horrifying and oddly funny. But then there are the less successful moments. The art often feels watered down compared to the manga. Remember those hyper-detailed, nightmare-inducing panels? Yeah, they don't always translate well to the screen. And the pacing? Some stories feel rushed, like the animators had a timer going off in the background. The result? Moments that should terrify you instead just happen. It's like going to a haunted house where the lights are accidentally left on. So, what's the final verdict on the Junji Ito collection? It's a mixed bag. If you're a hardcore Junji Ito fan, the anime might leave you frustrated. It's like karaoke version of his work, recognizable but it misses the magic. But if you're new to his stories and want a taste of his world without diving into the manga, the series is worth checking out. Just keep your expectations in check. And who knows, maybe someday we'll get the perfect Junji Ito adaptation. Until then, we'll always have the manga and the nightmares.